Hey everybody, Gavin Day here with the call of One Volleyball Premier League Toronto's opening night. Apologies for the delay. We are rolling now though, and you'll see two teams in action. That is the Soul Machine, that is closest to you, and the Magnes Spartans on the far side. We are still in the first set. Magnes, that's just picked up their 5th point of the evening. Soul Machine are at 9, and so we'll just get right into it. Magnes on the attack, puts that one along. That'll be Joey Jarvis for Magnes Spartans, putting it long, and it is now 10-5. Here's a substitution coming in for Soul Machine. Number 3, Tyler Kovac. Replacing number 12, Grant Rich. It's going to be Kovac back to serve out of York University. Little jump floater grazes a piece of the net. From the back row, partially blocked. Now let's see what Soul Machine can do in transition. Big, long set. Double hit is the call, and it's going to be back to the Spartans. Change comes back in. Jules Mahawe, the libero, back into the game. Looks like we've got things rolling now, though. Live stream, live all season, every Thursday night. I hope you can join us every week. If you can't come down here, that's Austin Campion-Smith with the serve. The set, there's the dig, back in play. Mahawe, little tip at the net, and there is a net violation on Magnes. It's going to be back to Soul Machine. And back to serve for Soul Machine, Brian Fotley. Queen's University, former Queen's University player out of Team Ontario. Big spin serve, handled a little awkwardly. It's going to be just about a free ball there now in transition. Soul Machine, quick set attempt, a little flubbed on the set, but it does find its way in. Not always the prettiest, but you take it as they come. Hopefully, I'm doing all the scorekeeping myself here, so hopefully I don't miss one or two. It's 12-6 now. And once again, Fotley, that one goes way long. Look out in the front row. Luckily, just missed her. And now the Spartans, coached by Brenda Willis, 31 seasons at Queen's University, just retired. She's in charge on that side. That's going to be an ace for Magnes. Closing the gap just a little bit. Andrew Dubé gets to play as Mohawk and Durham Colleges with the ace. Let's see what he can do again. Is he twice lucky? Dubé again with the spin serve. Mahawe gets it going. Little poke at the net now. In transition, chance for the Spartans. Checks, then blocks, over bump. A little bit all over the place. Now the Soul Machine with the poke at the net. Josh Collins with the point. Collins now back to serve. Played at the University of Purdue, Fort Wayne. He's traveled a bit in a pro career. It's Italy, Qatar, and Egypt. Big spin serve. Over bump now. Is there a chance? From the back row, big block. Joey Jarvis there for the Spartans. On that back row attack from Josh Collins. Magnes closing the gap a little bit. Before we went on live, Soul Machine spun off a few points in a row on some good serving, but now back come the Spartans. Serving for them, Blaze Wasser. He's going to try a nice spin serve. Mahawe digs. It's going to be a free ball now. Let's see what can they do in transition. Off the hands, out of bounds. Point for Magnes. It's Eric Perot on the attack. They are at double digits. Stringing a few off in a row are the Magnes Spartans. Wasser back again. He puts his serve into the net. Checking back in for Soul Machine. Grant Lynch into the front row now. Bit of a float serve handled by the Spartans coming to this near side. Finds the corner. Lovely little swing there. Corral again. A little bit of a cleanup job needed. Second year of operation here for the One Volleyball Premier League. John May's team here, Soul Machine. May has coached a lot on the beach. Coached the team of Jamie Broder and Christina Valius at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Back to serve is Jarvis. Huge spin serve, but it goes long. And it's back to the Soul Machine. You'll hear the women on the other side. Nikola Dimitrievich back to serve. Handled to the back row. That one is also out. And that's 16-11 now. Jarvis a little too much on the swing, puts it long. And here's Dimitrievich again. Quick set, quick tip, down it goes. Magnes Spartans with the quick little answer there to get the point. Clay Couchman on the point with the little tip. Couchman out of Fleming College. A couple of changes coming in for Magnes. Into the game, Nick Truen. Samuel Cloak, I believe, also in the game. Back underway. There's an ace serve. Spartans closing the gap once again. Not letting them get too much distance. That was Cloak just into the game with the ace serve. University of Guelph was a second team all-star. Let's see what Cloak can do again. Jump float. This one, it sails long. And it is going back to Soul Machine. Jory Mantha back to serve, one of the returning players on Soul Machine. I think someone just told me 17-14. Mantha, big spin serve. Cloak sets it up. Good dig. It looks like there is a net violation on Soul Machine. So Magnes get that point back, gets the ball back to serve. Corral with the swing. How tried to dig it, but as I mentioned, net violation was the call. Now Corral dug up to the back row. Down it goes. And goes back to Soul Machine. Brian Fountley. Substitution coming in. Back in, Tyler Kovac. Pardon me, Nicholas Sandich. comes the jump float. Quick set. There's a big point. Clay Couchman on the quick set, hammers it down. Changes again. Libero Muhawe back in. Serving for the Spartans is Couchman now. John May, coach and owner of the Soul Machine. He'll be coaching the women's team over on the other court next. Over on this one, though, Couchman puts his serve into the net. And the Soul Machine now making a few changes. Paul Jakubiak is in, as is George Sakvaraludze. Back to serve, and jump floater catches a piece of the net. Back set, off the hands, out of bounds. Point to the Spartans. Nick Trellin, from the University of Toronto player on the swing there. Austin Campion-Smith for the Spartans. Back to serve. Campion-Smith, former McMaster player. Second in the league in perfect sets last year, the center. Puts a jump float right into the net, though. Gifting these points back to the Soul Machine if they chase the first set here in the opening round of action. Josh Collins, outside hitter. Right down the middle, and there's a swing. It's out of bounds. Jarvis mishits, no touch. And so point to the Soul Machine, a couple points away from taking this first set. Collins again. Spin serve, adds some power on that one for the ace. Didn't have too much on his first serve. And this time he took a little extra minute to think about it and then hammers one right down the middle. Collins gonna try it again. This time though, into the net. So he gets one of those serves in. Doesn't get the second, and now Spartans running out of time here in the first set. Once again serving, it's Dubé. Had an ace earlier. Gets that spin serve in. The far set, big kill there. Jory Mantha. Easy as you like it. Now the Soul Machine in sight of a first set victory. Touches a piece of the net. To the far side. Back comes Magnus Eric Peral, keeping his team alive. As we reach the decisive moments of the first set. Back to serve is Blaze Wasser. Spin serve handled, quick set. Out of bounds, there was a touch. And so that is Spartans' point. And it is, my math hasn't let me down, set point. Truin on the attack. Some changes coming in here. Dimitrievich back to serve. Pardon me, it's Grant Lynch on the attack for Soul Machine. Dimitrievich. High serve, handled, goes long on the set. Good dig. Back to the Spartans. Can they get a second chance? Big block at the net. And that, I believe, is that for the first set. Big block to win it. Fontley was in there, as was Josh Collins. We'll be back for the second set in just a minute. Fended off any surges the Spartans brought the rest of the way to take the first set, 25-18. And if you're wondering as you watch, this angle is the vantage point that I have as well. So under the right circumstances, I could be in the line of fire. But I guess it makes calling these things a little bit more fun when your whole life can pass before the eyes. Coming back out for the second set. 2 games in action, obviously, as is the case every night. At 8:30, the Madawaska Madmen will be taking on Bounce United. Bounce, the defending champions. Let's see who's in now for Magnes. See Blaze Wasser. Joey Jarvis is there. Lucas Coleman. Austin Campion Smith. Clay Couchman and Eric Corral. Looks like Muhammad finally has his proper Liberos jersey now. Of course, if you are new to the game, the Liberos wear a different color jersey. They're the defensive specialists. They can only play in the back row, so they check in and out of the game all the time. Sounds like a set just wrapped up over on the women's side. Of course, you can tune in there as well. We're at Ryerson University, the Mattamy Athletic Center. Of course, the famous Maple Leaf Gardens. Apologies if I did miss some of the names in the first set. Jersey numbers may not match up with what I have on my roster. Hopefully we've got that sorted, and my fingers crossed, so that's why we've had a bit of delay here. We are set to go. Taking a look at who's in for Soul Machine. Hawaii, the Libero's in there, as is Nikola Dimitrievich, Grant Lynch, Josh Collins, Joey Mantha. As I mentioned, returning player. He's played former McMaster player, national B team. He's played in Cyprus and Slovenia. Having been to both of those countries, not a bad place to play, if I do say so myself. Brenda Willis having a word. Oh dear. I'm looking at one of the jerseys. On one side has number 9. On the other side has number 7. So that's Chris McLaughlin, I believe. Shock of red hair is what stands him out. So let's just get through this together and figure it out as we go along and hopefully have some fun. Set 2 underway. Lynch with the serve. Big swing. Good dig, but the Magnes Spartans will get a second chance now. To the right side, out of bounds. No touch. That was Dubé on the attack. And it's the first point of the game going to Soul Machine. They are up a set, as I mentioned. Back to serve is Lynch. Float to the far side. Big block at the net. Oh my, solo block. And that's Tyler Kovach. Jarvis not seeing any daylight there. And quickly, first 2 points of the game going to Soul Machine. Lynch. His float serve awkwardly handled. Jarvis is going to get another chance. He rolls that one, but there is a double hit on the play. And another one for Soul Machine as they jump out to a quick 3-0 lead here in the second game over the Magnes Spartans. Lynch out of York University. He's played for Team Ontario, as I have a number of these players here tonight. Jarvis handles that one. Swatted down. And the Spartans can't have any answer to that. And it's now 4 for Soul Machine. Lynch, the big middle. Another serve in play. Looks like there was a foot fault, stepped over the line. And the Spartans now gifted their first point of the game. And we'll see what they can do with it. It's Dubé back to serve. He had an ace in the first game. See what he can do here. Take something off that one. To the back row. Down it goes, Mantha. Not sure if it went off the net or partially blocked, but sort of threw the Spartans for a loop and they couldn't have an answer to it. And a big back row attack by Jory Mantha makes it 5 for Soul Machine. Back to serve is Kovach, from the York University player. Quick set, McLaughlin. Number 7, number 9, doesn't matter either way. It's a point for the Spartans. Wasser in to serve. Obviously not in his libero duties. Over bump at the net, hammered down. And that is another point for Soul Machine. Just as it was in the first set. Soul Machine making an early run, pulling out an advantage. It's Josh Collins back to serve. Looks like there's something slick. They want to take care of it. Big spin serve. Sails long. Not enough dip on it. And Magnes has their third point. Back to serve Joey Jarvis, 2nd overall in blocks last year, 4th in overall points in the One Volleyball Premier League. Nice spin serve, goes cross court. The Spartans, Mantha takes something off it now in transition. Jarvis on the second hit. Mantha again, cross court, dug up well. From the back row, little poke Dubé. There is a back row attack, so obviously Dubé, when he took off, he was in front of the attack line. And had his hands over the net. Substitution coming in for the Spartans, or for Soul Machine rather, Uchenna Ofoa. Back on familiar territory at Ryerson University. He's played professionally in Finland, but he is a RAM graduate. Now quick set. That That's how you do it, Clay Coachman. Magnes now playing catch-up once again in the second set. There's Eric Corral back to serve. Fleming college player. He was once a OCAA first-team All-Star. Big spin serve coming. Puts it well into the net, though. And it's back to the Soul Machine, Nikola Dimitrievich back to serve. University of Waterloo player. Goes cross court, goes out of bounds. So trading serves here. Last few points. Float serve. Back set. Mantha. My goodness. Just like that. That's how you receive a serve. Quickly ending the point. And it'll be Mantha himself back to serve. Big spin serve. Over bump. That block not sealed at the net. Another point for the Soul Machine. It's going to be a timeout for the Spartans. With the Soul Machine up by 5. Still early in the second set. It's 10-5. But the Spartans, as was the case in the first set, letting it get away from them a little bit. First game of the season, obviously. Not everything's going to be perfect. They got to rally back here. It's Mantha. Big spin serve. Handled well. Quick set. Down it goes. McLaughlin. Good answer from the Spartans off the timeout. Campion Smith, the quick set. McLaughlin puts that one down. It's going to be Campion Smith back to serve. McMaster, former McMaster player, won a number of OUA championships. Second in the league last year in perfect sets. To the back row, Mantha. No answer for that. Changes for the Spartans. Pardon me, for Soul Machine once again. A foe is back out. And to serve, as he was effective earlier, Grant Lynch. Hands up from the down official means everything is good. Everybody's in the right position. Let's get back to it. Lynch, jump float. Campion Smith, the set to the back row. Looks like it goes out of bounds, and indeed that is the case. Coming in. So the call was in from that back row attack. Apologies. Jump float. And there's the quick set. Doesn't get what he wants on the swing. So it's going to be the bump set off the hands. A bit of miscommunication there. And it is the Spartans who, once again, as it was in the first set, they spotted an early lead, They come back a little bit. Shoots the set over. Down it goes. Nicely done. Stopping any momentum, our Soul Machine. And serve goes into the net. So service error gives it right back to the Spartans. Chance to build on that little bit of momentum that they had. Don't slow it, meant the pass to the far side. Little poke over the block. Still alive. And the swing. Looks like there is an error on the set, and that is the case with the double hit. And Magnes closing it back up a little bit. And floater. A quick set. A little bit of miscommunication there, and Magnes getting another point, finding a little bit of form here. Shoots the set over to the far side, miss hit on the attack. And the mistakes are now catching up to the Soul Machine. Josh Collins. Error on the swing. Over bump, another mistake, another point. Pouncing all over it. And there's the timeout called. They want to stem the flow here. Once again, relying on my paying attention, adding things up and math here, and so that will be, if I have it correctly, which I hope I do, that's Magnes' first lead of the game. They're up 13-12. Obviously, Soul Machine trying to stop the momentum, stop the bleeding. To the dig. A bit of an overbump now in transition. They're just going to decide to dump it back over for a free ball. The back set. Collins on the attack. Once again, another attack off the hands and in. So it is another point for Magnes. Gonna want their jersey numbers are there. Their jersey numbers are on the line. Not all of them. Collins on the attack and the ace from the service line. Got a few miscues from the attack, but he figures let's just hit him from the service line. And another one. Puts that one straight out of bounds, and it's another point for Soul Machine. And I believe I might have missed a point or two, so we were adjusting our vantage point. Collins, another big serve. The bump set, the back row. And then the quick set in transition, lovely dig. Awkward set. Manthea just decides to dump it over. And finds the hole right behind the block. Barnes serving, the jump float, and Holloway handles it. Mantha, my goodness. Jory Mantha unloads. Soul Machine, looks like they've refound a little bit of that form, not giving away so many points in a row. But the Soul Machine now on the attack, rolls the attack over the block and finds a hole once again. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Substitution for Soul Machine. Afoa coming back in. Out goes Grant Lynch. Puts it into the net, though. Back and forth we go in this second set. Serving for Soul Machine is the setter, Nikola Dimitrievich. He was up there in aces in the league last year, in the top 10. The float serve, handcuffs him a little bit. On the attack, Dubé, blocked, finds a hole. Point for Soul Machine. The float served by Dimitrievich was a handful. Sort of led to that point coming. And here he's back at the service line again. Another jump float. Handcuffs Coleman on the attack, though. Let's see, in transition, goes cross court. Always at a bad angle, though. Very tough shot to make, and he puts it into the net. Oh, Tyler Kovac. And Magnus now on the serve. This is Mr. James, I believe. Indeed, that is the case. Jump float. Bump set. Tip over. Almost found the hole, still alive, and it's going to be a free ball now. The volley from Coleman does enough to throw off Muhawe, just enough. He was backtracking, couldn't get the hands to it quickly enough. And there is another point for Magnus. James again. Float. Muhawe handles this one. The back set. Hammered down off the hands. Mantha again. Up there for the Soul Machine, carrying the way a little bit. Now here he is back to serve. Former national team B player. He has played for the B national team. Out of McMaster, big spin serve coming. Doesn't take something off that though. From the back row, big swing there from Coleman. And back and forth we go. Coleman with the kill there. Back to serve is Smith. That one goes wide from Campion Smith. And it's a 3-point. Campion Smith nearly put that one wide right when he hit it. So a pull at the shirt, a little angry word with himself. And back coming in to serve Grant Lynch, who was effective earlier in this game from the service line, stringing a few together. Soul Machine, couple points away from the set. Goes cross court. Still going. Nicely handled, but now quick set. Soul Machine taking advantage of the transition. Not the most powerful quick set, but it leads to a point. It's going to be a timeout for Magnes. Don't want to see this one get away. Got the proper numbers now, except for Mr. McLaughlin, who has his infamous number 7 or 9 jersey, depending on what side you look at him. McLaughlin is out on the court. Officially, he's number 7. But if you're bumps, Collins hammers it down, but still going. It's going to be a free ball now. Mantha to the back row, down the middle. Just no answer for Jory Mantha today. Every time he jumps up there, you know he's just going to unload. And even though you know it, well, little you can do to prevent it. And Couchman is into the game. Clay Couchman, Fleming College. And it's Lynch once again. Float serve this time. He puts it long, and there is a lifeline for Magnes. We enter the decisive stretch of the second set. Back to serve. There's Andrew Dubé. Miscommunication. Wasser thought he was taking a little bit of a break as the libero, but he's now back in. Dubé, jump float, sails long. And the Soul Machine, Kovac, is going back to serve, but they're going to make the change. Bring in Paul Kubiak. He's a setter. He's played at York University. Now here he is back to serve. Soul Machine. Second set in sight. A floater. Champion Smith to the far side. Cross court with authority. Goes Lucas Coleman. 3rd overall in the league in points last year. Big swing there. Wasser shoots the set to the far side, off the hands, out of bounds. And that is the second set for Soul Machine. So Magnes closer this time around. But they still now find themselves down 2 sets. Once they found their feet in this, after spotting Soul Machine a lead, they were able to close the gap a little bit. So it's just a matter of not giving up too many points in the first couple points of the match. The Soul Machine will want to end this one quickly. Magnes obviously hoping to prolong it a little longer. assistant coach and son of John May, having the last team talk there before we start the third set. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Gavin Day. Opening day, one volleyball Premier League season here in Toronto. Soul Machine have a 2-0 lead over the Magnes Spartans. With the third set just about to get underway. Joey Mantha's been a big man so far for the Soul Machine with some good swings. He's of course back out there. Alex Elliott's out there. Nikola Dimitrievich, the setter. Tyler Kovac. Grant Lynch. Great service game in the second game. And Josh Collins. So the setter George Muhawe is ready to get going. And for the Spartans, Austin Campion-Smith is still out there. Joey Jarvis, Lucas Coleman. Looks like they're actually going to start this set with Clay Couchman, Blaze Wasser, and Andrew Dubé. And it's going to be, of course, Magnes at the serve. Starting with Campion-Smith, the setter. Mantha handles that one quick set. Looks like there was a net touch, and that is the case. And it's been the same for both sets so far. Soul Machine out to an early lead. Tyler Kovac. Big spin serve. Jarvis off the hands, and that will be the first point of the game for Magnes. 1-1 here in the third set. Dubé back to serve with the red headband, goes cross court. Muhawe with the over bump. What can the Spartans do with it? There's a block still going. And there's a call on the play. Double hit is the call. And Soul Machine catch a break. There's an over bump on the serve receive. But it's a mistake by Magnes that gives Soul Machine the point. Collins. Spin serve. Wasser with the pass. Jarvis with the finish, but it's long. No touch. And it's another point, Soul Machine. And if you saw the earlier set, I know the second set you must have watched. The Soul Machine built up a big lead. Collins again spots a hole, almost had it. And there's Jarvis on the swing, another mistake. And it's 4-1 for the Soul Machine. We want to end this one quickly. Second game coming up in just a little bit. Second match, pardon me. Will be at 8:30 Eastern Time. Collins, big swing on the serve. To the far side. Coleman goes cross court. What's the call? Caught a line. Just inbounds. And it is 4-2. Wasser will be the server. We do now have a scoreboard on the sidelines, so I'm free from scorekeeping duties. But I will keep you posted, of course. There's a net touch. Mantha. Looks like he almost was off balance when he took off and caught some of the antenna. And so it's Magnes seem to have cured what ailed them in the first two games in this set. Wasser took something up the serve. Mantha, second opportunity. Big swing there. Not much you can do on that. And Soul Machine got the point. And there's Ochoa Afoa, pardon me, back into the game. Alex Elliott, the server. A big metal blocker. Adam McMaster. Gonna float this one in. Actually, more of a line drive. Jarvis off the hands. Not going to be able to chase that one down. Magnes starting this third set much better. Let's see how this plays out now that they've given up a few points. That would be Jarvis, the server now. He's one of the returning players from last year. Big spin serve cross court, and Nohawe gets it. Bump set. Mantha off the hands and out for a point for the Soul Machine. Great atmosphere here in the gym at Ryerson University. Nice crowd has turned out for the first game of the season. It's going to be the setter, Dimitrijevic, back to serve. Floats up. Champion Smith, the quick set. Out of bounds, no touch, says our officials. No touch, says the Soul Machine, and they get another point. That makes it 7-4 for them. Dimitrijevic again back at the service line. Trying to float for him. Awkward from Dubé, but Coleman at the swing did get a touch. He'll get a second crack at it. Coleman off the hands and down and in. So it is a point for the Spartans. After giving up a few points, they're still right in this one here in the third set. And it is Coleman to serve. Jump float. Causing a little trouble. Mantha off the hands and out. And it looks like there is a net violation anyway. So improvising a little bit on the Soul Machine, but with a successful outcome. Lucas Coleman has been on the junior national team, played at under 21 Worlds, another former Ryerson player, but here's Mantha to serve, big swing, big spin serve, the quick set. Afoa got a partial block to it, couldn't keep it going though. James, who is back on the on the attack there. Now he is back to serve. There's another net violation on Magnes. So those mistakes are adding up here in the third set. Afoa, as has been the norm so far, substitutes out when he goes back to the service line, and in comes Grant Lynch. A great service game in the second game. He's out of York University, played for Team Ontario. Back set, big kill. Coleman right through the block. Nice little work from the Spartans. It is 9-7 for Soul Machine now. The setter, Champion Smith, back to serve. Awkward handling by the Soul Machine. Now in transition, Dubé misses on the swing, can only put it into the net. Substitutions coming in for Soul Machine. Kubiak's in, as is Brian Foutley. It is going to be their server. Lucas Jakubiak is going to be back to serve. Indeed, that is the case. Out of York University. And a free ball, a little bit of a miscue. But a huge block there, still going. Spartans. No touch there, though, from them. On the attack from Collins, who tried to, I think, swipe it off the hands of the blockers, but it missed everybody. And it is the Spartans who win that rally. And it's Dubé who's going to be back at the service line. And the attack out of bounds. But there was a touch on Foutley's attack, and so it is point for Soul Machine. Collins, he's had some good serves today. Back once again. Moving right along here. 2 sets already in the books. Just about halfway through the third. Potentially halfway, depending on how long we go. Shoots the set over, off the hands, out of bounds. Coleman nearly another point for the Spartans as they're hanging around here in the third set. They didn't have a gap to close after giving away a few early points. Much closer, and it's Wasser back to serve. Tries to paint the corner. Mantha, net violation once again on Magnus, but Mantha, I don't think there was any returning that a swing from him. Fola now coming back in. Lynch substituted out. And it's Elliott who's going to serve. He puts that one into the net. Alex Elliott giving it right back to the Spartans. Substitutions now. Sam Cloak checking in. As is, let's see, let's just confirm, Alex Barnes. That is the case. That will be Cloak back to serve. He's the University of Guelph player, OUA second team All-Star in his time there. Setter, jump float. Kubiak, awkward set, and it's going to be a free ball. Let's see what the Spartans can do in transition. Quick play on the attack is James. Doesn't get everything on it, but puts it down. Look, we got a second chance. His team is down 12-10. Puts it right down the middle. Jakubiak to Mantha. Oh, yes. When he gets that right in his wheelhouse, that is something special. Precision and power from Mr. Mantha. He's been leading the way so far today, and back into the game, Nikola Dimitrievich back to serve. We're up 13-10 here in the third set after taking the first two. Front float, Dubé. Cloak, not a lot on that. Now it is a free ball. The Spartans trying to get a poke. Now in transition, off the net. Threw them off. Afoa. Don't think he actually hit it the way he wanted it to, but it goes off the net. Throws off the Spartans players who were preparing for something else entirely. And it is a point for the Soul Machine. They now have 14. Dimitrievich. Cloak with the set, with the swing. Great reaction from Collins, but it was just too much. And that swing from Barnes. Barnes, U of T, second team All-Star in the OUA East in his time with the Varsity Blues. Coleman, the serve. Afoa. Doesn't get much on it, but now the Soul Machine block at the net. Looks like it caught a piece of the line. Indeed, it does. And the Spartans now closing up a little bit. 2-point game. 14-12. Well, it's Coleman back to serve. He's played for the youth and junior national teams. Big serve there. Back set, Mantha, that one's blocked. Second chance coming though for the Soul Machine. Off the hands, looks like there is a call there. Back row attack is the call. Coleman waits for the announcement. Over bump. Second chance. Dubé. right into the face of Nikola Dimitrievich. Big swing. Dimitrievich can really just throw up the hands in an effort to protect himself. Coleman made a brief pause for an announcement to come into the gym. If you're in the area, apparently, beer and wine is now for sale. So if you get tired of listening to me talk, then come on down to Mattamy Athletic Center. Take this in live. It's been some great action so far. Still more to come. One more match with defending champions, Bounce United. Madawaska Madmen up next. Delay a little slick surface, needing a mop up, and we're back ready to go. Coleman is back to serve. Big spin serve, catches the net. Big attack. And that's Kovac, a New York University player. Gives the Soul Machine the lead once more. But we have a game here. It's 15-14 in the third. Jory Mantha. It's been fun watching him tonight. Here he is back to serve. Spin serve from him, but on the attack, Dubé. And it's behind him. Doesn't get a lot on it. It's a good dig from Cloak. The bump set. Dubé again. Block's not sealed at the net. Goes off the hands and down on the Soul Machine side. So we are tied at 15. And the Spartans finding their form here in the third set. James is serving. Howe. Pass. Collins on the attack now. In transition, the Spartans, a bit of an issue on the bump and a little miscommunication, so the double hit. Gives it right back to the Soul Machine. And Lynch coming back in to serve for Afoa. Lynch will serve this one. He's had a very good service match. Jump float. Coleman can't quite handle it. It's going to be a free ball. Mantha. Big swing. Down it goes. Kovac. Lynch, as we get back underway, 17-15. Yeah, still some slickness on the floor on the Spartans side, but it looks like we are good to go. Lynch being to serve. He's done a very good job in his job coming into serve today. A jump floater. Coleman. Cloak. Nice little roll shot. Finds the floor, finds the hole. Barnes read that one well, puts it over the block. The Soul Machine weren't ready for that one. Didn't expect it. Jarvis comes back in. And Champion Smith as well. So Cloak and Barnes take a seat. Now it's Champion Smith, the server. Down one. Set through the back row, Mantha. Do you even need to ask? Once again, Jory Mantha. Big swing from the back row. Kubiak. Once again, checking in for serving purposes. Dimitrievich takes a seat. Substitution complete. Back ready to go. Kubiak floats it, and it sails long. He missed the serve there. And it's back to being a one-point game. And Dubé. Serve on the attack, off the hands, out of bounds. Josh Collins with a good swing there. Scores the point. And goes back to serve. Right down the middle, shoots it over Coleman. Wins the point for the Spartans. And it's Wasser who's going to serve. Mantha handles it, the shoot set, but now in transition. Spartans, Coleman tries to force it over. And there's a free ball, there's a slip by Collins. Hope he's okay. Coleman on the attack, puts it wide. No touch, say the referees. It looks like Collins is okay. We've had it a few times where the towel's been needed. Sandich coming into the game, presumed to serve, his second year in the league. Normally a libero, but he was brought in from the service line today. This team 5 points away from taking the match. Coleman. Campion Smith back to Coleman. Not the best set, and he almost had to be acrobatic on there, but a huge block at the net finally. Jory Mantha has been finding a lot of love on that left side today, but 3 blockers up there, sealing things up at the net. And they get that big block, and it's once again a 1-point game. Jarvis. He's back to serve. 4th in the league in overall points last year. 2nd in blocks, and I think he was one of the 3 up there. Part of that blocking by committee on Mantha. Big spin serve, handled well by Collins. Now Mantha takes something off it, but there is a double hit. Looks like that is a setting violation. And Jarvis will get another serve. We are tied here in the 3rd set. Jarvis, another powerful serve. Collins handle. It's going to be a bump set. Mantha finds that hole, takes something off it, nicely swings it down the line. Doesn't always have to be power. He saw that opening. Nice swing there. Jory Mantha. It's going to be the setter, Nikola Dimitrievich, back to serve. Four points away from taking the first match of the season. Float, Jarvis. Campion Smith shoots it over Coleman. Big swing, net violation though. It's a nice dig on Coleman's swing, but there was the net violation before the call. So Spartans tying this one back up, and we got the makings of one that's going to go back and forth, and a timeout on the floor for the Soul Machine. We are tied at 21. Second year of operation for the league here. One Volleyball Premier League, and new this year. If you're in Calgary, well, you're going to have a league of your own there as well. So fun times, exciting times. So a number of these guys have played professionally before. And Bounce United players warming up right in front of me. They're up next against the Madawaska Madmen. And there is Lucas Coleman, played at the Under-21 World Championships. Mantha. Everybody's friendly here. Big swing from Mantha. Wins the point. Has a chat with Andrew Dubé. Nothing untoward there. Just stumbling into him. 3 points away from taking this match, potentially. Mantha, big spin serve, catches a piece of the net, and is in. So nice ace serve from the Soul Machine. Trying to break some of that momentum. Brenda Willis calling timeout for the Spartans. They have a chance in this one. It's a close one. They don't want to see it get away. They want to prolong this match. Points away. Doing a straight 3-set sweep. Mantha. Big serve coming. There it is. Over bump at the net. There is a net violation. Campion Smith on the way up. He disagrees. But a foul was there anyway, so there was the over bump, and the foul was there to hammer it down. So even if there wasn't a net violation, I think there's going to be a point anyway for the Soul Machine. Now it is match point. Mantha puts this one into a net, and there is the slightest of glimmers for the Spartans. Still match point, 24-22 for the Soul Machine. And it is James to serve. Still James. Going to the University of Western Ontario, jump float. Set. Collins off the hand, still going. It's going to be a free ball right into the front row, and there's an opportunity for the Spartans. Off the hands, Jarvis with the point. So sort of thrown for a loop a little bit when the ball was played into the front row. Made it a little bit awkward. And we do have a 1-point game. It is still match point. And James Well, 6'4" of them, a chance to tie this one up. Back set, take something off it now in transition. Dubé on the attack, off the blockers. We are tied. We'll get some extra points here in the third set. As the Spartans rallying late, showing great composure with holding off a few match points. And we are tied at 24. James going to keep it going, jump float. No, he can't. Afoa, big quick set down the middle. Dimitrievich read it well. Quick set to Afoa down the middle, who once again makes way. Subs out Grant Lynch here on another match point. Lynch jump float, puts it long, and it's tied once again, 25-25. Now, having been given the opportunity, the Spartans now have Campion Smith back to serve. And the set, Collins, mistake into the net. And it is 26-25 Spartans. They haven't led since very early on in this third set. Campion Smith for the set now. Off the hands, great dig. Campion Smith throws out the arm. Jarvis. Looks like it's going to be a free ball. Now for the set from the back row, Coleman, great dig. They get another crack at it. Quick set, takes a swipe at it. Highway, back row, Mantha. Oh, yes. That is outstanding. From the back row, right down the middle. And tied once again. Back and forth we go. Jakubiak back into serve. Jump float, the bump set, Jarvis off the block, and out. And once again, back in front, the Magnes Spartans 27-26, Andrew Dubé with a chance to serve for this third set and force us a little bit longer. Kubiak, the set, blocked. Still going, quick set this time. And now in transition, a chance for the set. Coleman off the hands, Mantha keeps it going. A little bit of a mistake on the play. And Jarvis, unfortunately, the ball wasn't over on the Spartan side. He reached over the plane of the net. He won the point, but he didn't win it fairly. The ball hadn't crossed over into the Spartan side. And so that was the call on the play. And so it is an opportunity for the Soul Machine now to get back on the front foot, tied at 27. It's Collins serving. Powerful spin serve, but there's Jarvis this time. No mistake there. Quickly making up for that small error on the last point. And once again, the Spartans have the third set in sight. Wasser. Kubiak shoots it over. Mantha off the block and out of bounds. Tied at 28. Some changes are coming. Sandich back in to serve. Afoa's back in as well. So Lynch and Elliot Leach take a seat. Mr. Kubiak wearing those York Lions shorts. Floater comes in, the quick set. Blocked at the net of Foa. And now, once again, match point for the Soul Machine. Sandich. A lot of personality on that Soul Machine team. Sandich floats this one in. Dubé. Campion Smith to Coleman. Now in transition, a chance for the match. Mantha. Ain't able to get a good swing on it. Coleman decides to poke it over. Mantha again. Still going. Great rally here. Coleman now. Big time swings. Mantha blocked. Huge. My goodness. Jarvis and James stopping Mantha. All kinds. This is the example of what we have to come over the next several weeks this summer. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. And Joey Jarvis back to serve. He was in on that block. With Phil James. Now back to serve. Nice spin serve. Over bump right at the net. That one is in. Coleman there. Takes advantage of the mistake on the over bump. And now back and forth we go. Jarvis, rather, a chance for this third set. And there's an ace to end it. Joey Jarvis finishes that one with an exclamation mark, and so not going to be a sweep today for the Soul Machine. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer. This one is going to a fourth set. I'm just going to take a quick little break. We'll be back with you in literally minutes. Caught your breath yet? Well, There's more to come here now. After being unable to put away the match a few times, where the Soul Machine is now moved to the Magnes Spartans. Well, we're about to find out in this fourth set. Out for the Spartans. There's Jarvis, Coachman, Dubé, Smith, James, Coleman, and the libero Wasser's ready to go. And for the first time this season, Soul Machine have lost the set, and we'll see how they respond. Grant Lynch back to serve. This has been his day back at the service line from the York Lion. Jump float. Champion Smith the set. Dubé had to work for that one, and it's effective. So a little shrug of the shoulders from Andrew Dubé. Wasn't perfectly set up for him, but he made the contact that was needed. Goes cross court, and the Soul Machine didn't have an answer. So first point of this one. It's the first time the first point of a set has gone the Spartans' way. Let's see what they can do now with an advantage. Dubé serving. Mantha. Quick set. A little bit too long there, though. Too high, pardon me. And the swing from Coleman goes long. They call touch. Soul Machine say there was no touch. Officials disagree. Of course, there's no challenge here. So as it stands, it is 2-0. Dubé. Quick set. In transition now. Jarvis puts that off the hands of Mantha with the bump. Huge block, one-man block. Coleman Foutley tried to swing. Coleman, the only man at the net. Gets the hands up there for the block. Dubé. Service error, puts it right into the net. And the Soul Machine now have their first point of the match. Or of this set, rather. And there's Brian Foutley back to serve. He played at Queens. Had some time on Team Ontario. And he gives it right back with a service error of his own, the net. It's Wasser who's going to serve. Shoots it over Collins. Great dig by Wasser to get even an arm to it, but it's back over the net and out of bounds. Point to the Soul Machine. A lot of these guys know each other from their various college careers. A lot of them played in the OUA. Big spin serve from Collins. Jarvis. Mantha gets a hand to it, but it goes off the antenna and out. So perhaps momentum has swung here. The Spartans with a 3-point lead. I think this is their biggest lead they've had the entire match. Jarvis. Big spin serve. There was a call of out, but they played it. It's going to be a free ball now in transition. Slow reaction to it. Quick set, but it's effective. But wait just a minute. The lift is called. There's a smile from James. Tried to please Case, but I think he knew it. He did whatever he could to try to get that ball up. It is the Soul Machine with the point. And now the serve, Alex Elliott. After Marauder once upon a time. And it is a free ball now. There's another transition chance. There's a double hit, a setting violation. Another error leading to a Spartans point. Those of you just tuning in, Machine took the first 2 sets quite quickly, and then the Spartans just took the last one in a bit of a marathon, and so we are in the 4th set now. Another game coming up, the Madawaska Madmen and Bounce United. That'll be on another link. We'll get that set up. Keep an eye out for it on the One Volleyball YouTube channel. Quick set. And Foa. That's the point for Soul Machine. Kokola Tikarit in Finland is a Foa. This is his 2nd year in the league. Dimitrievich. Champion Smith can't chase it down. Off the antenna, means out of bounds. So it is back to being a 1-point game. Nikola Dimitrievich, 4th in perfect sets last year. Top 10 in aces in the One Volleyball Premier League. Dubé on the attack. Handled. And then in transition. And Mantha, who was automatic earlier, missed on the swing there. Once the Spartans got a couple blocks in, maybe perhaps have figured out Jory Mantha. It's James to serve, goes cross court on the jump float. That goes wide. So the service mistake. Gives it back to the Soul Machine. Close game here though. That's Jakubiak coming in for Dimitrievich. Mantha, he can unload the big serves. Ball comes in from the women's match. I have no idea what's going on, but it is being streamed live as well, so feel free to check that one out. Mantha. Looks like the toss was off right from the beginning, and he was trying to adjust. Goes cross court, goes wide. Austin Campion Smith, the setter, jump float, Mantha handles that one. Jakubiak to Collins, puts it off the antenna. Another one out of bounds, and another point for the Magnes Spartans, now up 9-6. They've worked their way right back into this. Of course, if it goes to a 5th set, that one is to 15. Jakubiak, quick set, great dig by Coleman. Jarvis opts to just volley it over, and then it's a free ball. But it's right there at the net. Uchenna Ofoa with authority. And it just sits up like that. Those big guys at the net love to just pound that ball down. And Lynch, there's a default server. Floats this one. Campion Smith, a quick set. From the back row, Mantha rolls this one. And then Jarvis at the net. Nothing Lynch can do on that. And Joey Jarvis goes cross court for the point. And the Spartans are in double digits here in the 4th set. They do trail 2-1, however. And it's Dubé. Collins blocked. Second chance for it. It's going to be a free ball now, though. And the Spartans see what they can do. Coleman cross court. No touch, but it's out of bounds. For the Soul Machine to get that one back. Lucas Coleman, very, very close on. I should say it was out of bounds, no touch. Point for the Soul Machine. And it's Foutley, Queens University player. Out of Queens, rather. Big spin serve. Campion Smith to set. Coleman, they're too close for the net. Coleman just swipes it. Out of bounds is the call. He thought he caught a piece of the block. Not so say our officials. They have a pretty good vantage point. Foutley with another serve here. Big spin serve puts it into the net. Once again, a 2-point advantage for the Spartans. They lead 11-9. There's Wasser. Soda. Floats this one in. The bump set. It's going to be a free ball now. Wasser. Campion Smith goes back. Jarvis puts it down. Finishes off the back set. It's going to be Wasser again. Mantha. Quick set. Now in transition, Coleman off the hands, the back off, Coleman and in. There's a good block at the net. Coleman hit the swing true. It went off the block, and I think it caught a piece of his head and went out of bounds. It's a very, very tight fourth set. Josh Collins, outside hitter. University of Purdue at Fort Wayne. This is alma mater. He's played in a couple different continents. Played in Italy, Qatar, and Egypt. The serve goes long. And that ice for me. Unfortunately, there was something in the way to block, which I am infinitely appreciative. Sam Cloak in the game. The setter. Nice serve, catches a piece of the net. Mantha back to his best. Jory Mantha just needs one chance to get back on form. Missed a few swings. That one looked just A-okay to me. It's Alex Elliott, middle blocker, back to serve. 2-point game still here in the fourth set. Floats this one, Coleman. Cloak to the far side. Nice kill shot there. Barnes. It's a big swing. Now it's Barnes. And it's Coleman. Takes a little something off that one. Setter dump. Well read. Paul Jakubiak, one of my favorite moves whenever it's pulled off properly. The setter dump wins the point for the Soul Machine. I think that's the first time today that we've seen that. The time was right. Saw the opening and you take it. But then he gets the chance to serve, but it goes long. A quick look up to the heavens. James to the float. Mantha cross court. I think he's back. Jory Mantha. A couple big swings now, 2 straight opportunities. Still though, 2-point game. 15-13. Ball comes in from the other court. And it is Mantha himself who's serving. We know what he can do. Takes a little something off that one. Cloak, the back set. Huge block, but out of bounds. Two guys got up there on Barnes. And it goes out. And it's back to that 3-point advantage. So time ticking away here on the Soul Machine as they look to close out the match. Looking more and more likely like a fifth set could be possible. And it is Barnes. Big spin serve, but it goes right out of bounds. Collins just stands and watch it go. Back to a 2-point game. The Soul Machine are going to have to start ringing off a few points here to close that gap on serve. see better than Grant Lynch to do it. Second set early on. His serving allowed the Soul Machine to build up a couple points advantage, but that one, however, goes into the net, and it goes right back to the Spartans. Andrew Dubé played at Mohawk and Durham College, an OCAA championship all-star in his playing his college days. Big swing dug up by Mantha. It's going to be, he's going to get the swing, and it finds its way in. No, it doesn't. Pardon me. Yes, it does. My mistake. Trust the gut, and it swung right down the middle, nestled just inside. A bit of improvisation, but it's effective. It's Nikola Sandich in to serve. He goes right into the net, and so whenever there's an opportunity to close things back up, it's giving a point right back to the Spartans. Blaze Wasser. Foutley off the hands and out of bounds. And the outside hitter out of Queen's University, Brian Foutley. That's the point right back. Josh Collins, once again, a service mistake. Goes wide. Sam Cloak now. His team 6 points away from forcing a fifth and deciding set. 19-16. Great. Dug up well. Quick set. We'll get a second crack at it. Goes far this time. Mantha. There's off the antenna there. Coleman, more desperation. He knew the ball was going to go out and out of bounds, so he did his best. Improvisation a little bit. But still, neither side able to close the gap or pull away and add to their advantage. And so Alex Elliott serving, still a 2-point game. Gets the serve in. Cloak. Barnes, he takes something off it. And Afoa can't do much with it. And again, 5 points now away are the Spartans. Lucas Coleman. Big spin, catches a piece of the net. Quick set, Afoa puts that one down. There's a Ryerson, former Ryerson Ram serving, and a former Ryerson Ram who finished that point. To the back row, good dig. And a chance to finish it. Foutley. Barnes lets that one go, perhaps wisely so. Quick set, Afoa with the point. James wanted to get his block up better there. And shake of the head. Jakubiak. 1 point game now. Quick set. Refs say play on. Mantha saw the opportunity. Spartans were a little caught off guard. They thought there might have been a lift there at some point, but refs wave play on, and you play to the whistle. Now there is a timeout as we are tied at 20 here in the fourth set. So Soul Machine trying to finish off the match. And the Spartans trying to prolong it. I believe they're still in the first women's game as well. So they've obviously had something prolonging it. Both the Madawaska Madmen and Bounce United waiting, ready to go. Jakubiak. Once again tied. Float serve Dubé. He gets a crack at it. Blocked at the net. 2 there. Afoa and Foutley were there. Now the pendulum swings once again. Now didn't exactly ice Jakubiak, and now the Soul Machine up 1. Dubé, Cloak, Barnes, and we're tied. Dubé. And the Spartans in transition here. The poke off the block, and they call it out. It was very, very close. Campion Smith serving, the setter. He went to McMaster. For the back row, Mantha. Right in his wheelhouse. Jory Mantha. Now his team 2 points away from taking this match, the opening match of the season in One Volleyball Premier League in Toronto. It's Lynch to serve. Now tied at 23. Could this one go to extra points as well? Foutley's going to give way one. Nicola Sandich. Time for the match. So we got a few of these in the last set. First one in the 4th here. What are the Spartans going to do? Coleman, Campion Smith, Jarvis staves off yet another one. Tied at 24. This has been a fun night so far, and it's Wasser. We're going to go to extra points in this 4th set as well. Wasser puts it long. And that's another match point opportunity for the Soul Machine. They'll be kicking themselves at the end of the night if they can't finish off one of these. Josh Collins now, he's going to get a crack at it. Big spin serve, Dubé. Coleman gets it over, but right there, as always, Jory Mantha with an exclamation mark. And the Soul Machine, they were made to work for it, but they took this first match of the One Volleyball Premier League season in 4 sets. This one 26-24 in the 4th set. I'm going to wrap this one up quickly. Stay with us, so we'll be back pretty quickly. The Madawaska Madmen against Bounce United. Check for the line. We'll be doing that soon. My name is Gavin Day. I hope you enjoyed that one, everybody, and we will be right back. Talk to you soon.